It's so easy to get introduced.
Oh yeah,
Get sucked into that world.
oh yeah, and like you think they're your mates or they're your role models, but like when you grow up and think about it, they're not role models. They aren't your mates. They're just people with no life goals. You know, they
Mm.
didn't care about giving a pipe to a 13-year-old. You know, and yeah, it's crazy.
What do you think makes us or contributes to us ending in these places, ending up in these certain specific places? Do you feel like it's always a broken home?
Yeah, broken home, no support or services. You
Mm.
know, even if like parents are, going through tough times, like there's no support for them, or or like parents having bad parents, and it drags on generations.
Mm.
So yeah.
So how do you know Christopher?
Yeah. So 4 years ago, I was in lockup in Ravenhall and during COVID, and I was in there for a short period of time, and during COVID was pretty hectic, and I got bailed to a rehab that's up in Yorta Yorta country called
Mm.
Itcharotic, and I did 4 months rehab there, and one of the workers named Brooke, I give a lot of respect for him. He goes, "I need you to play football. You're 6'3", you
Yeah, tall
know.
man.
Yeah, I was like. I was thinking about it, the last time I played was probably when I was 10, 11 years old, and I was
Right.
like, all right, I got my clean time up, and, I ended up moving out to Shepparton and staying with a friend of mine, and he became my sponsor during these 12-step program, and
Good on him.
yeah, so I lived with him in Tatura and started playing football, and yeah, like I met Jarvis on the sideline, and
Look
yeah,
at that.
yeah, and like, it was really good because I was amongst with all the young fellas there. They were asking me a lot of questions like,
Yeah.
"How's jail?" and all
Mm.
this and that, telling them stories, as it is. And then yeah, I met Jarvis, and he always tried to push me to not do um incidents in football,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
um yeah. Then I moved away from Shep and came down to Melbourne, and then I ended up relapsing, and I ended up in jail not long ago. I got arrested in July last year, and I've seen Jarvis in there doing his treaty work, and
Yeah. He's a great inspiration, that guy.
yeah, from where you came from to today, and yeah, like
Whole different ballgame.
we need those role models. We need
Yeah.
those people to, we need to listen to their stories to, not do what they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Christopher when he came in, he being so young and the mindset he has,
Oh yeah.
he's
Yeah.
so switched on and so focused, and
Yeah.
it's like, look at him, he's like he's a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
It,
being so young.
yeah. Like I don't know much of his story, but like we contacted each other a lot, and we're still in contact till today. And um, I'm proud of him. Doing his boxing and getting through his hiccups that he's been through.
Mm.
And to see him grip this good work at a young age, like that's amazing. I wish I could go back
Mm.
my age, the way he is now, and grip this good, like, path that he's on.
How important is it now, further down your life and as you've grown older, how important would you say is a good circle of friends?
Ah, you need to hang out with people who have life goals.
Mm.
Not people who don't know what their life goals are, what their future is. Like my dad always taught me, you sit in a barber chair long enough, you're going to end up with a haircut.
Yeah.
And I took that on as a kid, and I knew that if I hanged around, bad people, I'm going to end up exactly like them. I hang around with four bad people, I'm going to be the fifth one. And like my dad grew up, hectic. He always used to tell me and my brother when we were growing up, when you're 18, I've got to go and sort out something in a different state. And I never clicked on what it was, until I was 13. I was on a YMCA camp, and DHS came up, and two coppers came up and grabbed me and my brother and put us into care. My dad had a 21-year-old warrant back in Perth for robbing 5 banks 5 years before I was born. Yeah,
What
so
up to him?
yeah, caught up to him. Some girl lagged him in, like, and he went back over to Perth, and yeah, that was
How
when I went out, and because I didn't have my father around, so I went out and
how long was he locked up for?
oh, in Perth he was locked up for 6 months, but he got over maybe 300 reference letters from people that he's been doing good, and
Mm.
they took that to court, and then yeah, 6 months later he flew back home and came home, and yeah.
How did he go after that? Did he kind of
Yeah, it was a big hearted, it shocked him,
mm.
being he was like 11 years clean, before they grabbed him, he came over from Perth and came here, had me and my brother, and he got clean, and having to go back to prison for something old, clean was a hard thing. He told me once those cuffs were on his hands, the first thing he wanted to do was news, but he obviously couldn't. Yeah, so
Bloody hell. How much did that impact you being a youngster?
he's the best father that I could possibly ask for, and witnessing all of that as a kid and growing up around it, like I don't blame him for anything. Like, my actions I take ownership of, and it was just growing up in that kind of scenery, it was pretty hard not to just walk away from it, and
When did it start kind of kicking off for you, bro? And you started to get rowdy.
maybe 13 when my dad got extradited. Like I was probably smoking, Yandy and drinking, going out to the city here in Melbourne, and once he was gone, that was it. Me and my brother were just weren't listening to like our cousin who took us in. We just kept going to the city and drinking full out, and got into crime and hanged out with people not our age. So
And that's what it is. Start looking up to them people.
yeah, so hanging out with older men, hey, you want to make some money? Well, like, all right, sweet, and we ended up doing a lot of stuff. And then when my dad came home, he found out, and he didn't like it, kicked me out, and I went out on the streets around 14, 15 years old.
Do you feel like older people kind of groom younger people into crime?
Oh yeah,
to their advantage.
100%. Like people back in the day, like I used to hang with, they'll go, hey, let's go do this, but then give me a minimum payment, But then looking back on it, it's like I nearly risked my freedom and done all this. I should have gotten a fair
chunk of money.
Yeah, but looking back at it, just what happens when you grow up in that life. You get shit goed or whatever. So yeah.
How was your dad dealing with this when you were going through this phase? Because normally you're getting belted by your parents.
Yeah, like my father never ever laid a hand on me. Only once when I came home and called him the DOG. And back in his day, that's not a word to throw around. And so I copped it, and I took it on the chin. And but like back in the day when I was younger, like I never thought of how my dad looked at it because I was still a kid, and becoming a father and then realizing he was just a worried father, and being in the 12-step program, like he's learnt to he can be there for a minimum time, but he can't put in his full effort to try and drag me away. He's got to let me experience my life, and like he had to put boundaries on and get an IVO and call coppers on me at home. And looking back at it now, like I understand,
He's trying to protect himself.
Yeah, he was trying to protect himself and not fall into addiction again. Like he was living in a life with addiction, but not even using, and
he had his own battles.
Yeah, he had his own battles, and like he doesn't want to. He's always told me he doesn't want to relapse. If he does, he's gonna die, and that's hard to hear as a son, and putting him through that, like it kind of like I got a lot of guilt and shame for it. But the best thing I can do now is stay on this recovery path, and get back to where I know I'm a good guy. I know I'm a lovable bloke. I'm respected, and and I want to get back there. I don't want to have a name out on the streets or name out with all the actions I've done back in the day.
Means nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing. In my head it meant something, but then when it's out on a piece of paper and you read it, it takes it home.
Yeah, criminal or you've been accused of this, accused of that. It's not what you want to be.
Yeah,
you want to be represented as a good man.
Yeah.
When you die and you're you're in your grave and to people around you, he was a good man.
Yeah,
he took care of me. He looked after me.
I want people at my funeral.
Yeah,
I want to be remembered as someone that went through the hard roads, and but he made it out of it, and he's being forgiven, and so yeah.
What tools did you use, or how did you navigate where you started to really say to yourself, I need to stop this life that I'm living?
Yeah. Being from a young kid from 12 to say 22.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
What got hold of you?
Oh, the methamphetamine.
The devil is them.
It's the devil's drug. And,
man, people do not understand. Please, if you are addicted to any of them, go and seek help.
Yeah.
You're playing with fire.
Yeah. Like I burnt a lot of bridges with family, my brother as well, and like as soon as by the age of 16, I was injecting it, and because I was amongst older men, and I was looking at it, and I seen 2 different buzzers. I'm like, watching them, and I ended up doing it, and that's when my life went downhill.
Can you talk to me about the difference between ice and meth? Because they're two different components, aren't they?
Yeah, there's for marijuana, there's strains, and then now the meth and the ice, there's one that's cleaner and there's one that's dirty, and one keeps you up or one keeps you down.
What's meth do? Is it an upper?
Yeah, they're all uppers, but one's cleaner than the other. It's not like the old school day back in the day speed. It's just everything's jumped on it. It's just dirty, and
And meth makes you feel invincible.
yeah,
You're just buzzing.
yeah. When you inject it, it's just a whole nother level, non-stop. Your head's ringing, and you can't sleep, and it's crazy.
And that's why people do missions.
Yeah.
Robberies after robberies. They go on these sprees.
Yeah, and people have blisters on their feet because they're just walking and walking. Yeah. I used to stay up, like weeks. And probably 2 to 3 weeks was my longest. And, I was in psychosis, hallucinations, and it was, getting paranoid on my partner and paranoid on my dad, thinking he's calling Jack.
Yeah.
Big psychosis.
Because you're not sleeping.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping. And I wasn't eating as well. I probably had like just a little bag of lollies that I used to just munch on. Yeah.
Because your mind's constantly buzzing.
Yeah.
You don't know what you want to do, what's going on next.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, I had 2 years, 2 months and 4 days up, and just 2 years ago I relapsed, and I went back out there, and it was the worst 2 years of my life.
So to the age of 22, so from 14 to 22,
Yeah.
you were just running amok.
Yeah, every day.
And when did you go to prison?
Probably 21. Yeah.
21.
Yeah. During COVID.
During COVID.
Yeah.
And what was that, just for all the stuff you've done previously?
Just for an IVO breach, because I had an ex-partner at the time, and like the arguments while we're both intoxicated.
Yeah.
It just got out of hand.
Bang, back in prison.
Yeah.
How long did you serve in there for?
Probably just 2 to 3 months. And
how was that experience?
Oh,
it's a different world.
Yeah, it was a different world. I didn't know nothing about it. My whole family's been in there. My brother's been in there. My dad's been in there. I've never been in there. I was only in there for 2.5, 3 months, but it was during COVID, so we were locked in most of the time.
It was really intense back
then. Yeah. We had to sit in the locked in the cell for maybe a week because the screw came in with COVID. And we get locked in. It was just like a dog at a dog pound at that time. So I had minimum food and. Yeah, so I didn't really get to experience jail as much until I got locked up last year in July. Yeah.
So once you did that time, you came out. Were you clean at this time?
Yeah, during that time in jail, I didn't touch anything in there.
Just during COVID time.
Yeah, during COVID time.
How long was this for?
2-3 months, and then I got bailed to a rehab up in Shepparton.
Oh yeah, did rehab there?
Yeah, did 4 months there.
How was that? How was that experience?
Amazing.
Yeah.
4 months in bush. Amazing amount of times I wanted to leave because, I still wanted to go back into that life, but I didn't know where to go. I was in bush. I'd never been in Shepparton in my life, so I didn't know where to go.
It's just bushland there.
Yeah, it was just bushland, and I found myself there. I was at an Aboriginal rehab, and there was this one guy named Kurt, and he was the manager at this rehab, and
How incredible are some of these people?
Oh, amazing.
The stuff they do.
Yeah, and it's just amazing, from their experience. They're in rehab and they're helping other, Aboriginal fellas. Like that's the best thing that us Aboriginals we have. Other Aboriginal uncles and cousins and sisters, we care about each other. And I'm really proud to be Aboriginal. I'm a Barkindji man from Majura. I was born in Sunshine and I grew up in Footscray. So yeah.
That's incredible. What a journey that's been.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, when you're in this rehab, what's going on through your mind. People don't understand. You're going through all kind of phases.
Oh yeah, getting my emotions back, my taste buds, Yeah, I didn't, haven't tasted food for years before I got locked up and ended up in rehab. Like I started loving steaks again. Yeah, so like I found myself, like I started getting good connection with my dad again, and got my daughter back in my life, and yeah, it was amazing to be out in bush, connecting with the country, and doing the 12-step program, and yeah, I was loving myself. Yeah.
Shout out to the brothers. What was the rehab place called?
It's called Itchawadik.
Yeah. Shout out to Itchawadik. Incredible place.
Yeah, amazing group of men that were there, and the boys that were there as well. Amazing. Yeah. It was beautiful.
And that's what it's about. It's about that constant growth and working together as a team.
Yeah, yeah. But it wouldn't have happened if I didn't ask for help.
There you
Yeah.
go. It starts with you.
I wanted it. You know, if I didn't want it, I wouldn't even gotten bail there. I would have just stayed in jail. But I wanted to change.
What was the reason you wanted to change at that point? What was going on? What was it?
That's a hard question, but I didn't want to turn out the way my dad did.
Mm,
I'm not looking at him as a bad person, but all the stories that I've heard from him, I just didn't want to end up in jail, you know, from 3 months, then it would end up to 2 years, 6 years.
yeah.
You know, he's lost a lot of things, but you know, he's got me and my brother, and you know, like now my dad's 19 years clean and off everything, and you know, I want to be exactly like him. So yeah, I did 2 years clean after.
How's he now these days?
He's 67 in June this year.
Amazing. And how's he going?
Yeah, good. He's loving
Healthy.
life. Yeah, healthy.
Peace.
Yeah, he's at peace. Yeah. He's loving it. You know, he does all this stuff for people in prison. He's on the TVs there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he does this thing talking about rehabilitation, and all the boys in prison know him. Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's the power of someone that's lived the experience.
Yeah.
You will connect differently to these guys in prison.
Yeah.
Say to the government, man, I've spoke to a couple of politicians and officials. If you want to help the youngsters and the youth stop these crimes, invest more into lived experience people.
Yeah.
They connect differently.
Yeah. It's amazing how it works.
You know, you went to the footy and you seen how people asking him at jail and
Yeah.
wanted to know more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know what it is, but they just get inspired.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is.
Because we all witnessed of, you know, being out there doing this and that, but we always end up with nothing. It always starts with nothing. You end up with something, and then at the end of it, you end up with nothing again.
Yeah.
So there's no point of even doing it.
Yeah. And you actually end up with nothing, but you lose them all.
Oh yeah.
You lose time of your life, health, family, friends, love. You lose more than you actually gain.
Yeah, yeah. And you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting everyone that loves you. You know, you're doing a jail sentence by going out there, but they're doing a jail sentence with you while watching you, without you even knowing, until you end up realizing what you're doing. Yeah.
How was your second experience in jail?
Oh, hectic.
That was the crazy one.
Yeah.
How long was that for?
3 months. I got done for a big charge, and I didn't think I was going to come home early. I ended up going to court on the 3rd of September and got straight release. And for me, straight release is a miracle.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, I've always had a YJ worker. I always had a bail. Always had conditions. I get out on straight release and I ruin it by having a drink and end up getting back on it. And then 12 days later, I got arrested. Yeah.
That wants you.
Yeah, it was crazy. But, you know, like when I was in there for those 3 months before I got out, like I was amongst all the you know, contraband in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I wasn't.
Why'd you feel like it was harder the second time than the first time?
Just because I knew I you know, I had something good, and now I'm in there for a big charge, and I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah.
Now you're starting to question.
Yeah, now I'm starting, like, you know, and I got a month before the contraband, and you know, when I got bail, I knew I was going to get back straight on it. Like I was already on it when I was in there. So
what, in jail?
yeah,
They still get it in jail.
oh yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
I heard it recently via a guy that I know, and he said, yeah, a lot of guys still are on drugs in jail.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. From what my dad's told me in the past, it's still happening nowadays, and it's questionable. But you know, when you're in there and you're amongst it, you're not going to say no.
Yeah.
If it's for free, yeah. You know, so I done that and got out for 12 days, and then I got arrested and went to Ravenhall and done the same thing, and I was there for my brother, and we just
how was that experience with your brother there?
Oh, it was crazy. We were laughing about it, you know, from my dad to my mum's stomach. We're sitting in the cell together. We had a laugh, but but when that door shut, it felt like we were at home, you know, as we were kids, you know. And he just kept telling me, please go home and do good. And you know, like before I left Ravenhall, I was up a few days, and You know, I got home and told my dad, I got to reset my clean time. He goes, why's that, son? And I said, I had a party before I left, you know, and I don't want to be in denial. So I resetted my time, and you know, I'm almost hitting 3 months, and I'm enjoying every day of my life now.
It's a different feeling and a different world when you're clean.
Yeah, yeah, because you get to reflect on all your past and your actions.
You actually get to think.
Yeah, yeah. It's not just a blur.
What does your brother mean to you?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. He's always been the one that I looked up to. He's always had my back. Um, we were happily little kids back in the day, riding scooters and playing football. But then we both took a wrong path, you know. And I've missed out on a lot of birthdays with him. He's been locked up for a fair bit of time, and yeah, being in there with him, it was really good to see him. You know, really, really good to see him. But it was you know, not a good experience. Two brothers locked up together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, my dad's out there worrying about us, and yeah. But now, like, I want to build that brother bond up again because
Is he still in?
yeah, he's got like 24 days. He's just done. He's about to finish an 18 month sentence.
Almost over.
Yeah, 18 months. Yeah, so I can't wait for him to be home, and you know, that's what my plan is, to stay clean and you know, try and be that role model for him. You know, if my brother can do it, I can do it. You know, and yeah, because I don't want to miss him for any more years. You know, he's missed out a lot. So yeah, I want him to be home and just be us again, just me, my dad, and my brother. You know, it hasn't been like that for years. So
Yeah, 100%. And what do you do to keep busy these days to try and avoid that realm?
you know, change my people, places, and things.
Yeah.
So don't go in my area, like where I live in Futuro. Don't go into the main part of the area. Don't hang out with the same people.
He's gonna get dragged in.
Yeah, you know, like I have boundaries now. So like if I do see an old mate, 5 minute talk. That's about it. You know, because my ego will go throw everything out that I'm doing good, and I'll just forget everything. Because I know how I am. I'm my own biggest trigger. Yeah, it's no one else. It's not the coppers. It's not the judges. It's not anyone else. I only got
me.
myself to blame.
My own soul.
Yeah, my own soul. Like my head tells me what they want to do. No one else does. So if I want to not be here today, I would have still been locked up for sure. But I want to do good. So yeah,
And how long has it been now since you've been clean?
and just under 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been here for 3 months, and every day I've loved it. Being clean.
It's a different world, man.
Yeah, it is.
People don't understand.
Yeah.
When you just come back to yourself and say, "Oh, I'm me."
Yeah.
And I'm free.
Yeah.
You know, not on the terms of drugs anymore.
Yeah.
They don't have control of me.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Yeah. I wake up to a coffee now, and that's all I love. You know, waking up, flicking the kettle. You know, and I'm not waking up to having to go run over to someone else's house just to feel better, just to be out, going out and experience life. Yeah.
Or get a hit.
Yeah, that's all I was doing. Waking up, have a shower, have one before a shower, have one before I eat. Couldn't even eat the meal that I bought. Probably eat that 2 days later, and yeah, it's crazy.
And then what happens is, what people don't understand is, when you start to run out of money, you need to get your next hit. So what do?
Crime. Yeah.
That's the cycle of it.
Yeah, crazy. You know, and being up 2 weeks and wanting to get heaps of items to go swap to the dealers, and my house was packed with stuff. People stealing stuff off you.
Yeah.
But that's what it comes with, that life. You're always going to end up with someone taking something off you. And being in cars, the adrenaline of being in a car or cop chase, and
it's a different feeling.
Oh yeah.
Until you're getting ran and getting arrested.
Yeah, so that's what happened to me in on the 15th of September, when I got arrested last year. I got my front tires popped, and I was in a cop chase. Yeah, with no front tires.
How was that experience?
Crazy. Crazy.
It's a scary feeling, man.
Yeah. Like when I got out for those 12 days, on the 12th day, I wanted to go home. I knew I stuffed up by getting back on it, and I ended up in a car. I thought I was going to get dropped off at home. I woke up in a cop chase in the highway. And I was like, oh God, here we go. And I'm
not stopping now.
Yeah, not stopping now. There's coppers on each side of the freeway, and the car was tracked, and I kept slapping my leg. I'm like, here we go. I'm going back to jail. And, they popped my tires at 140 on the freeway, and you know, the adrenaline kicked in and I'm on the opposite side of the freeway and I'm going head on with trucks just to get away. And, you know, I'm in the area of Rangarata and Albury, and that's where Desi's, you know, shot those two police.
Yeah.
And
So they're not taking no.
yeah, they're not letting me go. So, you know, next minute I had 12 to 14 cop cars surrounding me on the streets, and yeah, there it was. I went back to jail, and yeah,
You look back at it now. What do you think?
I wish I never hopped in that car.
Yeah.
I wish I just went home. But I'm really, really glad that the police did I did get arrested. I'm really glad.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't get me in those 12 days, I don't know where I'll be right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'll probably be stacking up a lot of charges, and then they would have gotten me. You know?
I had a guest on probably a week and a half ago, JD.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know him, he's a rapper. He kicks it with Bama.
I've heard.
Yeah, incredible guy, and he said something very beautiful. He goes, "I'm happy that I went through what I did
Yeah,
because it made me who I am today.
yeah,
It made me reflect, made me understand.
yeah,
You know that I got caught, and all these things happened because it woke me up.
yeah,
You know, maybe if it never happened, I would have never been awoke.
yeah,
Same thing with you.
yeah. Like you know, I'm 6'3", saturated in tattoos. I'm a big fella, but I can't handle jail.
Yeah,
It's not a place to be. It's a different world. It's like a third world country in there.
really.
Yeah, it's like a different language, you know, and
Politics. And,
politics and everything. You know, there's always a little excuse for a drama to happen. You know, and like if you want to keep your head clean, keep your head down, do your own jail. If you
Don't
get among,
interfere with no one.
yeah, don't interfere with no one. Don't become like I had friends, but don't do anything that they won't do for you. That's the one lesson I learned in there. So yeah, waking up now, realizing it's not the life for me. You know, I got a beautiful daughter that's just about to turn 10 this year. You know, I missed out 4 years of her life and because of drugs and crime, and you know, she's at home now with me.
What does she mean to you now?
Oh, the world.
Yeah.
The world.
Powerful.
Yeah, the world. You know, I love waking up to her, getting dressed for school, and you know, being able to pick her up from there. You know, lucky that I didn't come home with conditions. I was allowed to come home and be in her care, and can't be more grateful than what I am today.
What does your life look for you now? Like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you know, what do you tell yourself and what do you look forward to?
I don't predict my future. I
Yeah.
just wake up for today. You know,
Yeah.
whatever I gotta get done today,
Powerful.
I'll just do it. You know, but I'll try and do it clean. Because if I end up relapsing or using assumptions, I won't be able to get anything done. Because I'm just worried about getting more, and then I'll end up doing crime. So you know, I just do it day by day. That's about it.
I really hope, you know, and I pray that you continue on this path because you sound like a very, very humble person.
Yeah,
Someone that's been there, you know, lived it, and you're just over it. I can just see you just over it.
yeah, I am.
So I really, really pray that, you know, you continue on this path and
Thank you.
this journey of being clean and sober because it's a beautiful place to be in, man.
Yeah, and I wish I grabbed this life earlier and didn't go down that road. But you know, we have to experience it. I experienced it. You know, after having 2 years clean up and then going back out there was the worst. You know, because I knew I was a
It's
good
so
guy.
strange. It's so strange that 2 years you were clean
Yeah,
and just like that, it was easy to get back in.
yeah. Click of a finger. I forgot my clean time.
How was the experience when you just experienced that going back to drugs again? What was it? Was it you were sad, depressed, angry? Was it a situation, a drama?
Like I had a few relationship breakups, and you know, it was always in the back of my head. Like I knew I was a good guy throughout them, and so I kind of used them as an excuse to go relapse.
Yeah.
I came out of a pokies, and I seen an old mate sitting there he had GBH juice, and I lost my money, and I was like, hey, give me one, you know, and
That quick.
yeah, that quick.
2
And then
years clean, man,
yeah.
for that.
Yeah, and then I didn't go home for four days, and my dad was calling me, and I said, Dad, I've relapsed. And I was shattered. Like, I didn't want to go home.
It's that quick.
yeah.
It's that quick, man.
And then on the fourth day that I didn't come home, I was driving the car, and, I was drinking alcohol at the time, and the alcohol weared off, the juice kicked in, and I've turned the steering wheel, and I've smashed into a Golf at 130, and yeah, I thought I was going to take that as a wake-up call, but
Didn't.
No, didn't. I was just in a lot of shame.
Man, this is why I say alcohol and drugs, mate, they're the devil.
Yeah,
You know, some people say, yeah, no, I've got it controlled. No, but there's going to be a day where you're not going to have control of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's going to have control of you.
Oh, yeah.
And it leads to that.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at crime statistics, majority of it is alcohol based.
Yeah. Because it's on every quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. That's why, you know, I want to try and stay clean. I got a partner, she's locked up, and, you know, I love her to bits. You know, I put her through hell. Like, we've been together for, you know, going on 18 months, and, you know, I've known her for, you say, 6, 7 years. You know, we've known each other, but we finally got together 18 months ago, and I put her through hell. You know, she's a strong, independent woman. You know, I love her dearly, and I love her till today. Like, she's given me another chance to, you know, be her partner and
show who you are.
Yeah, like, you know, like I always thought I was a good partner. No, I did her dirty, and I did her wrong. You know, broke a lot of stuff, and yeah, you know, like we ended up breaking up for a little bit, and you know, she moved on, and you know, I accept it, you know, because of my actions, you know, and a little bit it hurts, but you know, she's incarcerated, and she's giving me another chance, and yeah, I'm looking after her house, and I'm paying the rent, and
That's good of you.
yeah, you know, and just so she don't lose the house for when she does get out, and you know, I want her to be on the recovery path as well.
Things we do for love.
Yeah.
And the things love can do for us.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen many psychotic, mentally unstable, serious addicts change their life because of someone they love.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I love her to bits, and you know, I love myself now. You know, that's the main
That's
thing.
the most
I
important.
want to love myself. I hated myself for who I was, and you know, I got a lot of regrets. But
when you say you hated yourself, why was that? Is it because of all the mistakes you had done in life, or was it something else?
I knew I never wanted to be this person. You know, I've seen it throughout my dad and my family, and you know, I always lived those two lives. I've seen my dad in recovery, but I've seen him in addiction, and you know, like I always knew where I could go and get clean, and that was the 12-step program. I always knew. So I've seen my dad go there. I've seen him do all these meetings. I knew where I could go, but I wanted to go experience it and see, oh, I could do better than them. You know, they ruined their life. I bet you I won't. But I ended up exactly the same that my dad was in addiction. Yeah.
And now he's at peace.
Yeah, he's at peace. He loves God, and he prays to him every morning.
How's your relationship with God?
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
That's the most important, man.
I'm leaving all my actions now. I'm just leaving it up to my high power, and you know, whatever situation comes, I just got to experience it. You know, but if I can get through it clean, then there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I have a fella that I had on. His name's Peter. Does a lot of community work for sober living and stuff. And he always says, Ahmad, you can't do it without God. You know, and it's incredible the journey you grow and have with God. It can play a big role, man. It humbles you.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm slowly trying to get that connection and my belief. Like I believe in him, but I need to truly believe in him for him to guide me in my path.
Mm.
You know, and that's what I want. You know, my dad robbed 5 banks, 5 banks when he was younger, and he used to rob churches.
Mm.
You know, go to the priests' houses and copy checks. You know, and he ended up going to churches and being a cleaner for free. You know, and
Wow.
for his
Serve for what he's done.
to be sorry, like he was sorry about his actions, and now he goes to church every Sunday and he believes in God and prays to him.
Incredible man.
And now he's 19 years clean this year.
19 years.
Yeah, 19 years clean from crime. You know, and
salute to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. Incredible man. What was his name?
Name's John Chikima.
John Chikima. What a man you are.
Yeah.
Salute to you for changing your life.
Yeah. So he's a big impact of my life, you know, and yeah, I'm really grateful that he's let me back under the roof, and yeah, it's just been nothing but.
How'd you know Arthur?
Grew up with his 2 sons in primary school. Yeah, we went to the same primary school in Footscray West, and
he's an incredible guy.
He's an amazing, hearing his story when I grew up, my dad told me his story, and I was like, "Whoa, really? Yeah. I did not see that."
The way he changed his life.
Yeah,
he became a criminologist, and the impact he helps people now, mate.
Yeah,
crazy. You'd never think that skinny guy.
Yeah,
did what he did.
Yeah, like when my dad told me, I was like, "What?" Really? You done all that?
Yeah.
I did not see that one bit.
Powerful, bro.
Yeah,
The
so
power of a strong mind.
yeah, and so my dad and him are really, really close friends, and we live just a few streets away. So we have coffees at a coffee shop, and I've seen him not long ago, and yeah, he's just I love his personality and
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah, inspiring.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to Arthur.
Yeah.
Incredible human being, man. I said again, lived experience.
yeah.
They have a different kind of connection with people.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not like most of these drug and alcohol workers who just do a cert for whatever.
They haven't experienced it.
But they
understand.
haven't gone out there. They haven't done all this. They might have. They might help. They can help a little bit.
Yeah, we're not having a go at you guys.
No way.
But just lived experience people.
Yeah.
Just know the rough edges.
Yeah, they know what a head go through
Yeah.
when there's stress situations, or if the coppers are after us, like we don't want to go hand ourselves in. It's just lived experience. I don't know. I connect with them more.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What do you do these days? What keeps you entertained these days? You like sports?
Mm.
You know what's crazy? A lot of the Aboriginal people were top athletes, man.
Yeah, I love my football.
They were fanatic footy players.
Yeah, I love my football. I was thinking of, maybe starting the season.
Yeah.
But I need to get my clean time up a little bit.
Yeah.
Before.
What are you aiming for? 6 months?
No, just
More.
not a finish line.
Yeah.
I just want to just stay on this path again. Beat that 2 years I was up. I want to get over 2 years. Yeah, because I loved my life when I was clean. So yeah.
It's a different ball game, man.
Oh yeah, it is.
And you're going to achieve it.
Yeah.
I truly, truly believe you're going to achieve it by putting your mind to it.
Yeah. No, that's what I want. I want to stay clean and be a voice for, not just for myself and my family, but for all my friends that I met throughout addiction. If they see me being clean, like at least they can say, hey, he was full on and he's clean. I might be able to do it as well. So yeah.
What's something you learned throughout your life? Something powerful that life taught you a great lesson.
There was one fella that taught me this, and he said, if you have one foot sitting in the past and one foot sitting in the future, you're shitting on today. So all you got to do is worry about today.
Yeah.
And I've taken that on. Like I don't need to worry about what happened in the past. I don't need to worry what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. I just got to worry about what's happening today. And my mission is to stay clean and get stuff done during that today. And if I can lay on that pillow at night time clean, that's my job done.
I love that quote.
I love it. Yeah.
Surely that was from prison.
No, it was from the rehab I was at.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the managers, Kurt Simpson, he's an amazing uncle. He's doing like drug and alcohol work up in Sydney now.
Beautiful.
And yeah, shout out to him. He was the main impact of my recovery when I got clean. He taught me a lot of stuff, and till today, for this recovery, I'm using those tools that he gave me when I was clean 2 years in this recovery. Yeah.
It's incredible some of these guys, what they do, man.
Oh yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because you need patience.
Yeah.
When someone's on methamphetamine, man, you need to use patience to deal with that guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because they get violent, aggressive.
Yeah.
They want to they swear at you, they spit on you.
They're paranoid. And looking behind their shoulder, rubbernecking it every 2 seconds, and yeah, it's crazy what these lived experience brother boys that are doing for a mob in a community, and it stays with them. I'm never going to forget that one saying, and it helps me.
100%. What are some tools now that you're implementing in your life, or strategies that some of the listeners can also use to help you avoid going back to addiction?
One tool that I always use is boundaries.
Boundaries.
Boundaries is make your own boundaries and be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
You got to worry about yourself. You can worry about friends and family to an extent. Until it affects your recovery or your good path, take a step back.
Yeah.
You can't always help friends and family. You got to help yourself before you can help others, and that's what I've learned. I used to try and help a lot of friends, and then I ended up losing with them. So now, like, I have boundaries. If I'm having a bad day, I know not to go into town because I know a lot of people. And my ego always tells me the solution is to get on.
Yeah.
And now I know it's not the solution.
And it's almost ego, but I break it down back to the core of the soul. I
Yeah.
think it's just the soul, because I believe the soul has its own world and realm.
Mm.
You know, the soul is what tells you to either do evil or good.
Mm.
You know, to steal or to do
Yeah.
greatness. It goes back to the soul. And if you don't know how to
Yeah.
tame your soul,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're falling apart.
100%. Yeah. I believe that too.
And you're going back into the strange world. But it's crazy, even certain places can trigger you.
Oh, yeah. You know, like I grew up in Footscray. You know, my stomping grounds there, Melbourne CBD. Yeah, crazy. You know, like just like memories that are happening on the streets still come to me. You know, during COVID, before I got arrested, like there was a stabbing in King Street at the front of the Ibis Hotel, and I witnessed it. It was one of my good friends getting stabbed in the heart, and trauma. A lot of trauma from that.
Did it pass away?
Yeah, he didn't. Didn't when he got to hospital. He didn't make it, and I was just drinking within 5 minutes before it happened, and I went down to the alleyway to go for a pee, and I come back and I see a knife in his heart, and
I bet you that was just a normal argument.
yeah, just a normal argument, and you know, and from with his ex partner, you know, and it escalated, and he got stabbed in the heart, and I had my t-shirt off, and I put it around his heart, and big trauma from that, and you know, I've dealt with it, but I still get triggered when I go through King Street and I know exactly where he was laying, and you know, every time I go past there, I don't care if, like, you know, I'm doing good now, but I don't care if police or council see me. I get a white chalk marker and I write R.I.P. Ricky, you know, because I was there.
Ricky.
Yeah,
R.I.P. my mate.
yeah, it was a good man. He always helped me when I was on the street, and yeah.
So many innocent souls
Oh yeah,
gone to just a quick stabbing, quick shooting for something petty.
yeah.
Petty crimes, man.
Yeah, or even someone that was clean and then they relapsed on heroin and then they overdosed. And it's just like, wow, they had so much potential. They had so much clean time, and that just one hit took everything away. Yeah, it's sad.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah,
You know, when I see a 30-year-old or a 20-year-old really addicted to drugs and they're having ODing, I'm just like, man, you're playing with life.
yeah,
Life and death. You're actually playing with life and death.
yeah,
You know, you're flicking up and down with it.
yeah,
The moment you die, you've lost 30, 40 years of your life.
yeah,
Finished.
yeah. It's crazy, and like I look at it as like it would have been me, you know, like
Was it ever close?
Oh,
Be ever close?
yeah, plenty of times. Plenty of times. Even on methamphetamines, I was using that much where my heart stopped and I collapsed on top of a car park. And luckily enough, someone found me and called the ambulance for me.
Oh my God.
And I never thought that you could drop on ice, but I was using that much. Like my body got over exhausted, and it just my heart stopped. And yeah, I woke up in ambos, and yeah, as soon as I got to hospital, I legged it. But from that day, I didn't use as much as I was using.
What if you have a lot of people when they go to hospitals, they kind of vanish, don't want the help? Are they afraid of judgment? Are they afraid of, they're looking for the next hit?
Next hit,
Mm.
because I was on the heroin, but not as much as people ODing. You know, it's like a big warm blanket that covers you. You know, but when people wake up, they don't want to be in hospital. They don't want to be. They don't want to be there. Just, you know, they feel fine. You wake up, you feel fine. You just want your other hit. You know, to get through the day, because you wake up cramped and sore. You need a hit to even be able to function. It's crazy. Yeah.
How many people have you lost to drugs?
Phew. Fair bit. You know, when I was in rehab in Nitrobotic, I had a cousin that was bailed to a rehab in St Kilda, and they're run by the same foundation, Naguala, and we used to do daily checkups over the video link on Zoom. And I remember my cousin Mana, rest in peace to him, and
Rest his soul.
yeah, he was in St Kilda, and he said to me over the video link, he goes, "I don't want to do this, cuz I want to go home." I said, "Please, cuz, stay. You know, please, like, see if it actually helps and works for you." And then he left on a Saturday, and on a Sunday he overdosed. And being in rehab, clean, and witnessing that and feeling that while clean was the hardest thing to go through. But going through it and coming out of it, and it's made me a stronger person. Because I didn't use on those emotions as much as I wanted to go news. I didn't news, and I went to his funeral clean and sober, and yeah, it was hectic. And I've lost a lot of friends from suicide as well, and yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, suicide is it's another playground, man.
Yeah, it's another factor in that role of addiction and crime. Yeah.
Once you end up there, I think with drugs, when they got this, they can't feed the addiction anymore. They can't think. They're just like, you know what? No one really loves me anymore.
Yeah.
But they leave damage
Behind.
Because
people do love them.
Yeah.
Everyone out there that's using in crime, there's family, there's friends that love you. I didn't feel like that when I was using. I thought that my dad didn't love me because he was calling the jacks, and I didn't think that my partners loved me. Of course, because I always thought I was doing good, but it's all because of your own actions. And now being clean now, like I know my dad loves me. I know my daughter loves me. Even people that I meet at these 12-step program meetings, they love me. They don't even know me.
Yeah.
And like, I'm wigging out on that, but it's just people who care about each other that are wanting to get clean. And I love it. I've been doing a meeting every day since I've been out, and yeah, it's been nothing but amazing.
What would you say to some of the youngsters that are going down crime and drugs?
Please don't go down this path. It's all fun and games, having jewelry or trying to make a buck, but you end up with nothing. Like I had these nice fancy bikes and nice fancy cars that weren't even mine. And I had everything, I had so-called mates that are associates, end up doing you dirty. Yeah. And it's just crazy. It's just not a path to go down. Like jail sounds cool, but it's not cool. There's a lot of old heads that are in there, and it's their home. You go into their unit, they're probably there for 15 years, and you have all these youngins like me when I was younger running around in the unit, but we're running around in someone's porch. His cell's just there. He's been there for 15 years. And kids are copping hiding from that. And you got to have respect, and you got to know your boundaries in there as well. You can't go. Like, people don't want to hear about you bragging and all that. Most people that are in there for years want you to go home and do good, because it's not a life to live.
Yeah, because they've experienced time.
Yeah, they're like, just go home. You ain't no gangster.
Yeah,
yeah.
Especially when the guys are doing 25 to life.
Yeah, they're gangsters. They knew they were going to do 25 to 15 years. I didn't know I was going to do a few months, and I went there and I'm like, no, this is not for me. Yeah, it's just not a place to
This
be.
is rubbish. What a waste of life.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential, and like when we're in jail, we have a group of boys, if there's a course on, hey, bros, let's go do this course, But if we were all outside, I would not hear one of us go, hey, bros, there's a first aid course down the road tomorrow, let's go do a first aid.
Nah.
No, none of us would do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's strange that it's like that.
Yeah. Everyone does all these certificates and that, but I was looking at the fact that none of us would do this on the outside. But why shouldn't we? Like, we should.
Yeah.
And like,
do you feel like, is it because they're just too comfortable? They have no objective in life? That's the reason why? Yeah.
Some of my mates, they got nothing out here. They got no family. They've got a house that's probably trashed, and you go there, you got a mattress, you got clean sheets, you got 3-course meals a day, you got canteen every Thursday at Ravenhall. You make your own cigarettes in there or whatnot. You know what I mean?
But it's a prison.
It's a prison. But you can make it home.
Yeah.
And that's the bad thing about it. It's like you get too comfy. I got too comfy. I didn't even want to leave. I adjourned my court case 3 times before I got bail.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't want to leave my brother. So I walked in the court case and told my solicitor, we've got to adjourn it. You get 3 adjournments, and I did 3 adjournments, and then come to the fourth court case, and yeah, I got bail. Yeah, on an 18-month CCO with 80 hours, and it's going good.
I hope your brother comes out safe, and you get to spend some good time with him.
Yeah, it hasn't been me, my brother, and my dad for a lot of years.
It's time. The time's come.
Yeah, and he's finally coming. He's finally coming home, and it's going to be the 3 of us. And I can't wait.
Stay staunch. Be real. And I think that's most important, is just to stay real, man. Be honest with each other.
Yeah.
And feed off each other's energy, man.
Yeah.
work of China's energy. You know.
Yeah, and don't be in denial. If you're going to do something wrong, be honest about it. Don't try and bottle it all up because it will just get worse. You know, if you're going to relapse, tell someone. Don't try and hide it from anyone because everyone's there to help, and that's what I realized. Because I tried to hide that I relapsed a few years ago and it didn't work. You know, so
Yeah, nah. You got to be honest with yourself.
yeah, you always got to be honest and
Got to own up for your shit.
take ownership. Yeah, it's crazy.
If you don't take ownership, you just be a victim.
Yeah,
Always blaming and excuses.
Yeah.
Hold up, I'm the problem. I'm the
Yeah.
cause of all this stuff.
yeah. It's like a ripple effect. It's like chucking a rock in a river. You know, you steal a car and there's a car seat in there. You ruin the chance for the parent to take the kid to school, but you ruin the chance for the kid to go even to school.
Yeah.
You know, it's a ripple effect. You know, you smash someone's window, there's money out of their pocket. It's not money out of your pocket. Yeah.
That's true. And they might not be able to go to work tomorrow.
You know, and like what I've learned, you know, with the police and the judges and all that, since I've been in this 12-step program, they're just human beings. It's their job. It's not their job just to let me go and get away with everything. You know, if I'm in the wrong, it's their job to arrest me. It's their job to send me to jail. You know, it's my own fault for being inside that court case. No one else's.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what they want. To kind of help you
Yeah.
in a certain way.
Yeah.
A lot of these judges, they do a good job of it, actually.
Yeah, like I had my month, because I got to do monthly reports, monitoring for my CCO, and went to my court case yesterday, and the quickest court case I've ever been in my life. Normally it's till 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He looked at my report and he goes, "Your iron's negative, like well, everything's good. Your work is saying you're good." He goes, "You can go home. I'll see you next month."
Wow.
And I wigged out.
How good did that make you feel?
It felt good, but my dad was telling me that's God's gift.
Yeah.
You know? That's all because of your right doing. You know, you're doing everything good. You're doing everything that you need to do to stay good. He goes, look at it as God's gift, you know?
Changing your life.
Yeah. Like at the quickest court case, and I wigged out. I called my solicitor. I said, "What was that?" And she goes, "It's just because you've been doing good." And I said, "Wow."
You're not used to it. You're kind of wigging out because you're used to so much negative and bad.
Yeah, so much bad reports. "Oh, Aaron, you've done this. Aaron, you've done that." Or we're standing him down. We'll come back at lunchtime, go through all the charges, get that charged. But no, like none of that happened. It was like a 2-3 minute court. And he goes, "I'll see you next month." And I walked out going,
What?
Yeah.
How good is that?
But it was a good feeling, you know. I had the best sleep last night knowing that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wow, you know, there's no new charges coming in and they're arresting me, putting me under in the cells. And, you know, I walked out, really early.
What an inspiration.
Yeah.
It's a true inspiration. And I'm very, very proud to hear your story and to know that you're on this journey of greatness, bro.
Yeah.
And I really, really pray that, you know, you continue staying sober and you stay away from that filth because it is a road of destruction.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, just looking at the crime wave now, but not just for the old fella, but for the youth. Like, I don't want my daughter growing up in that generation. You know, like lucky that she's loving life. You know, she's playing basketball, doing singing, and all this gymnastics. I never done all that. I'm always out doing crime. You know, just to see her living life. That's what I want for the rest of the youth. You know, even these 13 to 14-year-old teenagers, like they've got so much potential. Going out drinking with mates is not a life. You know, if you can't handle the drinking, you can't handle the drugs, don't even go do it. If you can't function as a normal person that can sit down and have a red wine at dinner, don't even go and try it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do it because my head tells me, have one can, let's have another 32.
Yes.
Let's have one pipe, let's go for 4 days. You know, that's what I know that I can't do it. And, you know, if you think that you can do it, it's going to end up the way I was. You're going to end up not controlling yourself. Yeah. It always leads to destruction.
And a continuous destruction.
Yeah.
Until you're in a cell or you either die. It's one of the two.
Yeah. There's jails, institutions, and death. That's the only 3 ways that life of crime and addiction takes you. You be in a psych ward, or you be in jail for a long sentence, or you're going to end up 6 feet deep. Yeah, and that's sad, you know. And one of my sponsors that back in the day, he told me 98% of people in prisons are going to do the same thing, but there's always 2% who actually make it and do good.
98%.
Yeah, there's always that 2% that would actually do it. You know, you go to a rehab, you know, say there's 8 people, maybe you know 6 of them go out and do the same thing, but the other 2, you know,
Will
might
change.
actually do it, and it's sad.
It's very sad. I remember I did a little visit to a psych ward a few months back. It was so sad seeing some of the people in there, man, that I knew, and they've gone
Mm,
crazy because of drugs.
yeah, yeah, it's sad.
Heartbreaking.
It's sad.
I was looking at him, I'm just like calling out his name, and he's just looking at me, he's just walking away. He doesn't even know who I am anymore.
Yeah, it's so sad. Like I had a friend that he got locked up for manslaughter and he did 7 years, but did most of it in the slot. And he got out and he started like he knew straight away. And I seen him in the middle of the city walking in the street talking to himself. And it brought tears to me because he was one of the boys. And you know, I just don't understand how they get to that stage, but there's a lot of history in it that gets in there, and that's what people need to acknowledge. And
7 years in the slot is a long time,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, and it's just from past, like, you know, history trauma. And it's just, you know, some people don't care about it, but some people do need to care. Because I was in the streets as a kid and until my relapse. There's a lot of people that are homeless there, and they're the most loving people ever. You know, all these homeless people in the city that I still call them my friends, even though that I'm clean. I'll go in there and I still say hello to them. You know, because the people in the city, the homeless people there in the city, they never done me dirty. You know, they're living on the streets. All they did was get me a squat, put a roof over my head. You know, even though that we were using together, but they never ever were angry people. It's amazing the people. You know, that's what I want to do in the future is to help the people on the street
Yeah.
in the city.
What does culture mean to you, man?
Culture means everything.
Yeah.
You know, growing up in born in Sunshine, growing up in Footscray, and then, you know, leaving high school and going into addiction and crime, I never knew nothing about my culture. You know, my dad's half Dutch. My dad's Dutch and my mum's Aboriginal, so I'm half Dutch Aboriginal. And you know, like not growing up with my mum and not growing up with family around me, but my dad, I didn't know nothing about my culture. I didn't even know what my mob was until I went to prison. You know, and sad to say that I've learnt more about my culture in prison than on out here, but culture means a lot to me. You know, I'm a proud Barkindji man, and yeah, like Jarvis Kennedy, I know Jarvis, takes me to the Australian Open, you know, as soon as I got out, and I seen Kathy Freeman.
How good is that?
You know, I always dreamed of meeting her as a kid when she done that 2000 run, you know, 2000 when she done a run, and I'm sitting there with Jarvis watching her do a speech. I'm like, wow,
How good is that?
yeah, like, what an inspiration! And hearing her speech about the mob and then doing the health checks with your local Aboriginal, you know, doctors and getting a Deadly Choice T-shirt. And you know, it's important that we have role models like that.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. There's a lot of people that inspire me for my culture, and yeah.
Message from you to the world, my brother.
Don't take anything for granted. You know, keep what you have. If you have something good, great, grab on it. You know, don't walk away from it. You know, just keep your head in a good narrow path. Just tunnel vision it. Don't try and jump off into other people's footpaths. Stay on your own footpath. So yeah, just, you know, grab onto something good that you have.
It's an absolute honor to have you on today, bro.
Thank you, my brother.
It was an absolute inspiration, and I'm glad that you are going through recovery, and I hope you continue on this path of greatness and success.
Thank
you get to come together as a family, your father and your brother come
Yeah.
together and you know, spend this year good quality.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very proud, and it's an honor to have met you and, you know, sat down and listened to your story. It's an inspiration. And I hope many people out there that are listening to understand that, you know, after hardship comes ease,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
If you want to give any shout outs to any people that, you know, value to you, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I owe you a shout out to AKA Chainbreaker.
What about Chainbreaker?
Yeah, Chainbreaker, and then you know, even his good mate TJ. You know, like I got out and I started watching their TikToks and YouTube, and the streets need that.
Yeah.
You know, the people on the streets, the people that are living in the flat, they need a voice. You know, because people on the outside don't know how they're living in there, and it's good to have, you know, mates like that, you know, doing good, and it gives me inspiration to get my story out there, and let the youth, or let anyone that's struggling, you know, there's a way out, and it's not easy, it's not hard, but it's doable.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. Shout out to Chainbreaker.
Chainbreaker, yeah,
He's a machine, bro.
he is.
He's and shout out to all the inspiring rehab places
Yeah.
that are doing insane work, helping these youth or adults, you know,
Yeah.
recover mentally from drugs.
Yeah,
You know, shout out to them guys because they're doing an incredible job.
yeah, and shout out to anyone that's on, you know, on the platforms or social media, pushing their message.
Yeah.
You know, even Chris Boland, like, I've got a lot of respect for him to see his story and see where he's at today. Like, it's just, we need people like us, you know, not just Aboriginals, any religion, to step up and talk about their struggles.
It's true.
You know, to get their message out to their nationality. You know, because we all mean something. We're all one.
100%.
Yeah, it's not about just nationality. It's all about us getting together and helping one another.
100%.
Yeah,
And those who are struggling, I pray for you, and I hope that you know, you seek comfort and help
yeah,
in growing and evolving and overcoming your addiction.
yeah,
Because I've lost a lot of people to it, man, and it's very sad.
yeah. It's hard to ask for help, but once you do it, it's the best.
It's the best feeling.
Yeah, and my dad always told me there was, you know, just have hope, and hope means to me, hold on, pain ends. You know, just have hope and faith in yourself, and it will all end eventually, and you'll be so grateful for the end results. Yeah.
That's true. Absolute honor, my friend.
Thank you,
having
my
on
brother. It was
today.
really good to be here.
It was an absolute honor, and I wish you all the best in your journey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.